Hello everyone, I'm back, and to show you what we've been doing lately. All right, we previously made a fiberglass rear hatch. We decided to make the car out of carbon fiber, so we redid the hatch in carbon fiber, and we chose to use forged carbon fiber, which is loose chopped, the way we did it is loose chopped carbon fiber right here. See, it's a bunch of pieces chopped up. Spread some epoxy on the tinted epoxy on the surface. Then we put the tinted carbon fiber, the carbon fiber on top of that. And then we put a layer of carbon fiber over that. And then we also happened to put tinted epoxy on that, but it didn't really need to be tinted. That's just what we already had mixed up. We did have a few issues, spots where it didn't soak through all the way. There's a couple of small spots there, another spot there. And that's because we waxed the mold and used mold release did actually half of it in wax and half of it mold release. If you come over here, here's the mold. And so I did mark it this side over here. I put a W on it so we would remember that is wax. And then right there, the semi-permanent mold release is right there. And so this is what the mold looks like. And then this is what the parts look like. So we're going to go back in and patch up these small areas, but overall it looks really good. Okay, so we're going to go into the spots that are like this, that are black, where that's actually raw carbon fiber or not fully drenched carbon fiber. We're going to put tinted carbon fiber on that. Then we're going to cover the whole surface with clear epoxy. Oh, that's right. I'm going to put tinted epoxy on there. Here we're actually probably going to put some more carbon fiber in there when we put the epoxy in, because that's a low spot. It actually pulled, that stuck to the mold. So we'll patch up that. We've learned how to patch things instead of having to go back and redo things. And then there's a lot of pinholes for the same reason, because we could not get an even layer of epoxy down because the wax and the mold release both cause surface tension issues. I'm trying to figure out what to do. One of the options is to use, what is the name of that stuff? PVA, there we go. Spray the mold with PVA on top of the either waxed or mold release treated, and that will keep the parts, keep it separated, so we won't have the surface tension issues that we have with wax. Okay, let's see. Oh, the other thing, the hood. So there were 3 different hoods. The red hood is the sorry. The people across the street have decided they want to shoot off fireworks. Okay, I shut the door, that should help. All right, so the red hood is the C6 hood. There is a black hood over there, which was for the C6 to C2 conversion. And then there is the Grand Sport hood. I thought I was going to have to use all 3. The C6 hood for the latch mechanism and hinges, the conversion one to cover the area that's in between the Grand Sport hood and the C6 hood, and then the Grand Sport vent hood on top of that. And so I had cut holes to match the vents as much as I could, but left the areas where the factory supports were on the underhood. And then there I cut holes for the vents. And so When you put the Grand Sport hood on top of the black hood, it fits perfectly, no issue. When you put it onto the C6 hood, there are issues because of the factory supports. Now the factory supports are needed because this hood is so flat that it would sag in the middle without the support underneath. But I wanted to see if I could do minimal modifications to both hoods and still make it work. The problem was that the Grand Sport hood sat way too high. It still sits high, you can see. It's still about an inch. I spent a day just slowly creeping up on it, seeing, okay, I can lower it a little more. The problem is I need enough room depth for the vents. And most of it's okay, but if you look over on that edge, that's pretty shallow. So the vents are a couple inches tall. So that really wouldn't look very good. It could be made to work possibly, but I'm going to look for another option. So the other option is to ignore the factory supports because they're not needed. This provides plenty of support with nothing underneath it because it's so tall. All of this does. So it's not needed. So I can actually cut this whole center section out. Now the exception to that is this very back right here. So I will probably, oh, that's right. The other option is that there is, come over here, the actual support for that Grand Sport hood, which is this perimeter piece right here. So I'm thinking I can go ahead and use this perimeter piece and see it's kind of tall there and kind of tall there. And one of the issues is on the C6 from the factory, they have the windshield wipers exposed all the time. I think that looks ugly. So I want to go ahead and extend the hood so it covers those up. So it does need to be raised just to do that, and then extend it back a little. And of course, from this angle, the wipers would show, but from anywhere past about right here, you won't see the wipers. Best compromise I can do. The very early C3s actually had a panel that lifted up and closed down, but they found out that was troublesome, so they actually eliminated it and made the C3 hood stick out like this, so it actually covered the windshield wipers. So that's my plan, and I just came to this conclusion late yesterday when I said, you know what, this just isn't going to work. All right, did I leave this? Okay, unlatched. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. Also, the struts are overly weak because even with all of the extraneous material cut off, the stupid struts still won't hold the hood up. So I'm trying to do this with one hand. It's a little bit difficult. This thing's real light, but it's a splash so that I can have custom vents made. Okay, so if I come over here and I lift up, you can see that there's the factory perimeter and cross support right there. So I'm literally going to cut it straight across here, straight across there. That'll get rid of that middle section. You can see that piece in the middle does absolutely nothing other than connect that. I had already cut these sections, but see, this hood should stay up, and it doesn't. No big deal, those struts are relatively inexpensive and easy to get. One of the other things I need to figure is, for some reason with the conversion mold, they stopped the hood right here. Well, when I did that, the hinges would hit, see if I can lift this, hard to lift from here. The hinges would hit right there. Let's see if I can get it, there we go. All right, so everything's fine except for there. Yeah. So the hinges would actually hit that front support. So I don't know why they did that. I am going to see if I can extend this hood further forward, which is why I cut it out right here. This used to go all the way back to there and had a trough that went across here for the front of the hood. So I'm going to see if I can extend it and if it will work. But what may happen is this front section may go down. Yeah, you can see that may be an issue right there We'll see. It may lift up quick enough that it clears. It may not. I'm going to test and see, and I'll adjust it accordingly. Obviously, I could leave it all the way back here, or I can extend it up to there. Let's see, what was I going to... Yeah, because that area right there doesn't really do anything, so there's no reason why I couldn't move the hood back to there. So the issue is, or was, this hood is actually longer. If I put this hood back on, which I think I can do one-handed. Okay, so if I put this hood back where it was, which would be right there, it should fall in place. I had it all clearanced. Oh well. All right, so that would be there. Well, now you can see how far back this is. That's too far back. I'd have to shorten the hood a couple of inches, so I'd have to section it here and then cut out whatever that is, and then section it out here and then splice it together. I'd rather not do that if I don't have to. If I can move the hood up to the new location, there we go, right there where it meets with that new opening, then I come back here and I can probably get away with not having to modify the Grand Sport scoops. I don't know. I'm going to work on that today. So today I'm literally going to cut that open, see what I've got, and then see if it'll open and close. If it won't, then I will adjust it accordingly. But in any case, most of this is going to be cut out. All right. I may leave part of this cross piece in place, at least temporarily, because I don't want these two ends all floppy until I bond all of this together. So I may temporarily leave that there and then cut it out after it's bonded together. One of the challenges is this hood is SMC, sheet molded compound. It's really more like a plastic then. Everybody thinks these cars are fiberglass because they used to be, and then they switched to this sheet molding compound, and then they kept changing the compound as the cars got newer and newer. And now this is, honestly, it's like a fiber reinforced plastic, in the fact that when you sand it, it actually melts like plastic would. So bonding to it is a bit of a challenge. I think epoxy should do it just fine. I will find out. I do have special body filler for sheet molded compound, and it's supposed to work both with fiberglass and sheet molded compound. So any blending I need to do, I can do with that. So the goal is to make this all one piece. Once I make it all one piece, we will make a mold out of it, and then we will make it out of the forged carbon fiber. So the goal right now is to have the hood forged carbon fiber, the roof, removable roof, Targa roof, forged carbon fiber, and then of course the back hatch forged carbon fiber. And then the lower area of the grille, we already did it, along with the front spoiler in forged carbon fiber. We're not quite done with it, but it and the spoiler are already done. So most of the center section of the car will be forged carbon fiber. Oh, and the mirrors will be forged carbon fiber too. And then the rest we're going to do is a flat black. It'll either be flat black paint or a wrap, haven't decided whichever works out better at that point. But we want to get all the rest of it done before we make that final decision. And then the halo bar, I've heard it called, the section right here in between the Targa top and the hatch. We haven't decided whether this will be black, flat black, or forged carbon fiber, but we can make that decision later. And that's all I've got for now. I would show you the mirrors, but the two mirrors between the two sides are slightly different, and we haven't decided which one we like. And so today we'll work on reshaping those and figuring out. We're going to do both of them and then decide which we like and make the two of them match. So that's on the schedule for today as well. All right, that's all we've got. So like, subscribe, hit the alert. Hit the thanks if you want to donate, share this thing. And if you don't like what we're doing, you don't know Jack. Bye.